relationship between cops and everybody who's not white. How can we better that relationship? I really honestly don't know if it can get better, and I'll tell you why. If you do the history of the police force, originally, the original job of policemen were to round up slaves, escaped slaves, and to protect the property of the slave masters. They're doing their mission statement. Like, people say the system is broken. The system is not broken. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's protect a focused group of people, and they're protecting those people because, I always tell people, when they always say the cops make these mistakes and shoot black kids, why don't black cops make a mistake at the same rate of killing young white men or young white kids? Because they sell as much dope. In actuality, Tim Wise pulled a study from the government and say, white kids actually do a lot more crimes, but they get away with it because that's their children. They look like their nephews. So in me saying that, I think the only way, and I always say this, I know people get tired of hearing this, white supremacy only respects two things. It's the loss of life or the loss of finances. The only way that I think cops should stop killing black kids is if instead of us marching up and down the street, we march to their houses. If there was some repercussions to what they're doing. Because if I was a cop and I killed a white kid, something is going to happen to me. If you do something, in a Russian community, Russians are coming to see you. If you do something to Asians, like, their country or their people are going to do something to you, whether financially or physically. I don't think that a frog would sit up and tell a snake, I think you can get better. It is in their nature to be that way. This is what this system was designed to do. So until we either create our own or we fight back, it's not gonna change. I don't care how much you pray. I don't care how much you march until you do something. And that's why I always tell people, man, people always try to, bombard me with religion. If you believe in God, then what are you afraid of? If God is really on your side, what you gonna do? You didn't pray, now get up and go do something. And these cops are still people. They still people, they bleed the same way. And I totally believe all these questions that we have until we look at the lives of our children, until we are willing to die for our children's life and them living and sleeping and eating better. I think people care more about being an American and being in this American system and living an American dream that's really a nightmare than we do about our children. That's part of the reason why our children fucked up. We set them in front of that evil-ass TV and went and got us a job and tried to live this system, and we let our children be protected and raised by a system that brought them here under auspices of slavery. Like, that's the thing that I try to say. We act like this shit is new. The cops don't give a fuck, and they're not supposed to give a fuck. I'm gonna say this real quick, and the people who are my friends, I know they're tired of hearing this shit. A young kid at the Central University of North Carolina said something. He said, David Banner, I don't have a problem with racism. He said, I do have a problem with white supremacy. He said, the root word of racism or racist is race. Ism or ist is the act of. So, like I said, the police were set up to protect rich white people or to protect their people. That's what they're supposed to do. That's their system, not your system. So when they give themselves the Oscars and the Grammys and the movie parts, that's what they're supposed to do because this is their system. But we are not racist. We let anybody treat our children any kind of way. If somebody black kills your black child, you're going to see them at their house, right or wrong. Anybody else kill your child, let's pray, let's march, let God forgive him. No, not me. But I'm really serious, man. We have some cleaning up to do, bro.
did something different, you know what I mean, from what we used to seeing in the South. You know, they made Atlanta proud, they made the South proud. They wasn't following the trend.
If I could talk to the young Ron Artest, I would tell him to stay out of the projects where you're not supposed to be at doing, you know, stuff that you're not supposed to be doing.
I probably put my first verse in there, that's all, and like he brought everybody who was in the studio in there to listen to it after I was done. Tyler, the Creator, Jeremiah.
And I don't even think that he talked on anybody else's record besides mine. So I had made sure that I got Yams on the song. It was gonna either be Yams or Puff Daddy, and I got Yams on there.